We must vote now. The general demands support.
He demands too much. The people are tired of this war.
When you picture the Roman Empire, what do you see? Legions, right? Aqueducts? Maybe gladiators in the Colosseum? But what if I told you that its most powerful, most lasting export wasn't a thing at all, but an idea? An idea that invisibly shapes almost everything around us, even today. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of Roman law.
So where do our modern laws really come from? I mean, where do they originate? The answer isn't in some modern government building. Nope. It's in a system that was forged 2,000 years ago. A system that was built up, completely shattered, and then, against all odds, pieced back together. So here's how our story's gonna go. First, we'll look at a legal golden age that was defined by sheer genius. Then, we'll see how emperors made their word absolute law. After that, we'll watch the whole thing collapse into chaos. And finally, we'll get to the incredible project that pulled it all back from the brink to build a foundation for the next millennium. All right, let's dive in. We're starting with what's called the classical era of Roman law. And here's the fascinating part. Its real strength wasn't about having a strict book of rules. Not at all. It was about the incredible brain power, the sheer intellectual firepower of the people who were interpreting those rules. Okay, so back in the early Republic, the law basically came from two places. On one hand, you had the lex. Think of this as laws passed directly by the people in their assemblies. But then you had something really interesting, the edictum. This was more of a living, breathing tool that magistrates used to tweak and update the law on the fly, to handle all the new problems the real world threw at them. What this right here is the absolute key. The reason we call this era classical isn't really about the laws themselves. It's all about the unbelievable genius of the legal scholars, the jurists. It wasn't just what they ruled, it was how they thought. I mean, these guys created analytical systems so robust, so powerful, that they're literally still being studied in law schools today. Now, this is where the emperors get really clever. They come up with this special seal of approval called the issues respondendi. You can think of it like a 5-star rating for lawyers, handed out by the emperor himself. And if you had this patent, your legal opinion was suddenly backed by all the might of the emperor. It was pretty much a guaranteed win in court. And what's crazy is that this wasn't about playing favorites. The emperors gave it to the absolute sharpest minds, which actually ended up raising the bar for the entire legal field.
But this kind of subtle influence from the emperor, that was just the start. The whole system was on the verge of a massive, dramatic shift. We're about to move from an era of brilliant minds to an age of absolute power, where one person's word was all that mattered.
And you can see that power shift happening plain as day. Those old ways of making laws, the people's assemblies, the magistrates' edicts,